A $200 billion crypto sell-off in a single day. A true black swan event and capitulation for UST and Luna. You might be wondering, what has happened? And what's caused this meltdown? Well, today we're going to unpack all of this. We'll talk about why the cryptocurrency markets have crashed, with Bitcoin below the 30k USD level, Ethereum under 2k, and of course the crypto total market cap falling below that $1.5 trillion mark. We've seen billions of dollars of cryptocurrency wealth evaporate, and there's a range of different contributing factors. So today, let's discuss the Luna and the UST situation. It's been something that's attracted a lot of headlines, and a true black swan event, the likes of which we have not seen previously. We've seen the price fall off a cliff for Luna. Luna's lost over 90% of its value, and UST lost its peg. It was as low as 20 cents when it should be 1 for 1 with the US dollar. Just a week ago, Luna was above the $80 mark. At its peak, it was worth over $40 billion in market cap. But in a few short days, it has truly capitulated, and the crypto markets have had a meltdown. And so before we unpack everything that's played out over this wild past week, and we talk about the causes of the UST unpegging and Luna absolutely crashing, it makes sense for us to take that step back, have a think about the context, define a few different things like pegging and stablecoins, and then we'll be able to unpack everything that's occurred. So while we think about it, Terra blockchain have got two main tokens within the ecosystem. UST, which is the stablecoin, and we'll talk about what that means, and Luna, LUNA. It's worth noting that both of these are absolutely massive coins within their own right. They were both top 10 coins, and we're talking multi-billion dollars in scale. So it's worth understanding what stablecoins are. Stablecoins are cryptocurrencies where the price is designed to be pegged to another asset, often fiat currencies. Of course, as we understand, cryptocurrency can be a volatile market, particularly when compared to other asset types. And so stablecoins are aimed to serve as a reliable store of value, provide the ability to hedge against that volatility, and to provide some stability, as the name states. Asset-backed stablecoins, like ones you might be familiar with, including USDT or USDC, have the benefit that they're stabilized by assets that are outside of the cryptocurrency space, which is generally uncorrelated. However, on the other side, there are algorithmic stablecoins. These are not backed by currency, but they maintain their peg through market dynamics, which incentivizes arbitrage. Now, these algorithmic stablecoins are uncollateralized, and therefore, as a result of that, they're a more risky proposition. And so the TerraUSD coin is designed as an algorithmic stablecoin to retain a value of a 1-to-1 peg with the USD. However, recently it's depegged, and it's lower than the 20-cent mark. And as you can understand, an $18 billion stablecoin depegging has a range of different implications and potential cause and effects onto the market. It's also worth noting as well that there was a mind-blowing 19.5% incentive for yield on staking of UST through the Anchor protocol. And so with that context and backdrop, stablecoins are only valuable to users if they're able to maintain their price peg. The Terra protocol leveraged supply and demand to maintain the price for Terra. But as this started to get undone and the price depegged, this is where the story unraveled. And so how it works, users were able to mint UST by buying Luna at the Terra Station portal, and as the Terra documents explain, imagine the whole Terra economy as two pools, one for Terra and one for Luna. To maintain the price of Terra, the Luna supply pool adds to or subtracts from Terra's supply. Users burn Luna to mint Terra and burn Terra to mint Luna. They're incentivized by the protocol's algorithmic market module, which moves based on market dynamics. It's continuing to balance, and users were always able to redeem $1 UST for $1 worth of Luna. This is where the arbitrage component comes into it. The system of minting and burning, it worked well. It was balancing itself while the algorithms were keeping the peg. However, of course, the risk is when these things come undone, and that's what we've seen. As the peg was lost, it led to what is known as a death spiral. People lose confidence in the system, and selling drives more selling, where the peg was eventually broken. Investors have then rushed to liquidate their digital assets, and the collapse has, of course, consequently occurred. Luna's market cap fell from a peak of over $40 billion to be around $500 million worth now. UST was an $18 billion stablecoin that was depegged so significantly. And it's worth noting that we're talking about the evaporation of wealth, the size of companies in almost no time. This is as large as many of the leading ASX companies or many of the large companies listed on the NYSE or the NASDAQ. There is a significant impact on the cryptocurrency markets, both in terms of value, but also the people that are affected. These are not tiny coins. As mentioned, in the day after it, there was a $200 billion crypto sell-off. Accompanying all of this, there has of course been discussions about who or what were the main drivers or actors, whether there was manipulation or what occurred. And all of those discussions are outside the scope of this video, but it'll be fascinating to see what evolves from that. There's also been thoughts and concerns about potential market contagion, as the Luna Foundation Guard was holding Bitcoin for reserve, and it did lead to short-term panic, as we mentioned, a $200 billion crypto sell-off, as well as uncertainties about market confidence. We're still yet to see how this story unfolds, but I think most importantly, at the core of this is people were hurt, lives were affected. My heart truly does go out to anyone who was affected by this. Some of the stories that have come out it's truly heartbreaking and it's quite harrowing to hear. So thoughts with anyone who has been affected by this. It's a black swan event that many in the crypto world will remember for a long, long time. And it's another event that really just adds to the tumultuous start that we've had to 2022. A big thank you for joining us. For now, stay well and happy investing.